Alright, you guys, so this is the first official episode of the Bed In podcast. I hope you guys are excited today, or um, maybe like us, a little bit tired and a little hungry because we haven't had breakfast yet. But uh, my name is Therapist Carl, or Daniel, whatever you want to call me, and we're here with my co host. You want to
What
say
is
your name?
it? Elaine? I don't know.
Yeah, you'll hear me either call her Elaine, or if maybe a guest is on here, Elena, uh, and then sometimes Beeb. So yeah, but today I just wanted to talk a little bit about what we'll be doing here, and for the most part, it's just gonna be movie reviews, and then talking about other stuff, probably based on the movies that we end up watching. So now, the first movie that we were going to talk about today was a movie that we watched a while back. Now, this movie was called Flower, okay? Now, I would suggest that you probably watch these movies before you actually listen to the podcast, because I'm just going to put a disclaimer out. We're probably going to be talking about from the beginning to the end and everything that happens in it. So if you haven't seen this movie, I would recommend watching it before you actually. Uh, well, I'd like to say that I want to recommend this movie, but I don't know. This movie was weird.
Yeah, it was.
But yeah, we're just gonna be talking here about Flower, and I guess, suppose you should watch it first, uh, unless you're okay with the movie being spoiled and being pretty much talked to, because it's not the greatest. Uh, so this is a movie made in 2017. It's a rated R movie. It was a comedy drama that was it was actually pretty funny because we're sitting there and we're looking for movies to watch, and we end up coming across Flower, and I've watched Flower years ago. It had to have been maybe 2019, maybe or so, whenever I had watched it by myself, and I told her it's a weird one. It's a weird movie. And she was like, "Dude, don't tell me it's one of those like step bro things, like step bro movies." And I was like, "No, I don't think so," because I couldn't remember. And
It turns out it was exactly one of those Step Bro movies.
it was so awful. It was so funny, honestly. Kind of felt bad, but you know what? That's okay. I just gotta say one thing that I didn't even know is that Zoe Deutch girl, or Erica, the main actor, is 26 now. So in the movie, she had to have been what? That's minus. So she was like 22 in the movie. So and what she's portraying, like a young, like underage girl that's 17, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's really strange. Erica is pretty much the person that you follow throughout this movie, coming from a broken home of her dad being in prison or jail, uh, and her mom pretty much being like a single mom, trying to make things work out, and eventually she gets a boyfriend, right? And her boy, no,
You don't get a boyfriend.
her mom,
Oh, her mom. I thought you
yeah.
were talking about Erica. I was like, no,
No,
she
no, no. Her
don't.
mom gets a. No, you're good. But her mom gets a boyfriend, and her boyfriend is okay. So Lori is Erica's mom, okay, and then she gets with this dude named Bob, okay, and Bob's son is Luke. All right. Now Luke is kind of like a shy kid who's coming out of rehab, and he's got some issues with him, some bad anxieties and stuff like that. And dude, it gets awkward. Like, it gets really awkward because, dude, the first scene in the movie is honestly strange enough, because she's like literally sucking off a freaking officer in his car. But the thing is now I don't know. Obviously, it must be legal, but I don't know if you can portray an underage girl doing things in a movie. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't think that was legal at all. Like sure they don't show anything. They just insinuate it's happening.
Yeah.
But that
It's kind of
just
awkward. I never thought about that.
yeah, it just sounds illegal. I don't know. It's so strange to me. Um I don't know. You could almost say that this movie is like uh, I don't know. I never watched Cuties, but
Me either. I heard bad things about it though.
yeah, and I'm imagining this is like Cuties, but more accepted because she's closer to 18. Like,
Well,
I don't know.
in the movie, she's closer to 18, but I think
Hmm.
it's because she's actually an adult. That's why.
Yeah, that's true. I was gonna say the movie Carrie. If you didn't know, I think she was 16 when that movie was filmed, and they had a bathtub scene with her, and like they didn't show anything, but she was in the bathtub, and like it was really awkward
I didn't
because like
watch that.
oh, Carrie. We'll have to watch that movie. It's really good, actually. It's like a very interesting horror
No,
movie.
don't go near
No, I just wanted to bring it up. That's
it.
all. But yeah. I wanted to ask you a couple questions as well on how you felt about Erica as a character and how you felt about her.
Erica as a. I didn't like her. No, not at all. She was annoying. I don't like the way. I don't know, they brought her character up. They did it so horribly.
Yeah, I think that they gave her like a pretty bad rap, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, the thing is you'll once you're watching the movie, eventually you'll find out why she's sucking so much dick, and it's extorting adults for money through sex, but only oral. And
Gosh.
dude,
You
no,
sound like a sex ed teacher
it's
right now.
hard to just talk about this because it's such an awkward subject. It's like it's just it's just uncomfortable, you know?
Yeah.
And because you want to feel wrong for even saying it, but then
Yeah.
like the director filmed this, so
Yeah.
I'm like I don't even know, like should I even feel bad talking about this? Maybe I don't know, but anyways, she's pretty much trying to make money. It's to reach the amount to bail out her dad.
Her
Eh,
real dad,
Yeah,
that's in jail.
yes, her real dad, not Bob, not Bob, her real dad. And I don't think we ever see her dad in the movie, not
No,
once.
that whole thing was weird. They just. I don't want to ruin it, but like we've ruined it already. So
You
like
can go.
they
I already gave
go.
the disclaimer. You're good.
Okay, so like she goes to get, bail him out of jail. She reaches her money amount, and he's already gone. He already left jail. And then they're just like, F it. We're running away. I don't know. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, to give you guys the short rundown, exactly what happens here is that Luke is claiming that he was touched by a man named Will. Okay.
That's why he went to rehab, because he was also on drugs and everything else for that.
Hmm. Now, the thing is this Will guy is actually at the local hangout spot for Erica and her friends. And that is actually the bowling alley. So he goes over there to bowl and stuff like that. Now, Luke has a pretty bad anxiety attack whenever he sees him, and they pretty much just try to get as close as they can to this Will guy, even going to his mailbox to get his address and stuff like that, grabbing like to just pretty much like know everything about him. And eventually, Erica ends up getting like not close to him in a way that is about to create a relationship, but close enough that something could start from it. And she's pretty much trying to. Uh, it's weird because they want to like pretty much kill the dude, but not kill the dude. Make him just pay for his actions, right? Now Luke's kind of like, I don't want her to pay for or I don't want him to pay for the actions. I don't want Will to pay for his actions. I don't know if he deserves it or not. And they're just like, well, he deserves it. Didn't Didn't he like do that? And they're pretty much just arguing back and forth, and eventually they roofie Will, and Will ends up falling through a table. Okay, now the thing is, this glass table shatters, but what you have to remember is that there was a little, what is that? What's the name of that thing? So,
Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, you're right. So he was playing with a little sharp like Eiffel Tower, and
It
it
was his
was
centerpiece on his coffee table.
exactly. So whenever he fell through the coffee table, um, he had fell through his Eiffel Tower as well. And since he was roofied, he didn't realize that he was bleeding really bad, and they end up like picking him up, setting him down, getting pictures with him to extort him and stuff like that. And it was really awkward because like you kind of had, it was just like, the thing is Erica from the beginning to the end is never a likable character.
No, not at all.
Like the only likable character, you want to say it's Luke, but Luke's a simp.
Yeah, and Luke pretty much got charged for killing a man.
Yeah, yeah. At the end of the movie, uh, once they come back and find out that Will is dead, and nobody's, the police are looking for, the suspects and stuff like that, and it, they end up finding he's dead, and they're just like, well, our fingerprints are everywhere. We definitely are absolutely screwed now. We have to go to Mexico. Why Mexico? I don't know. Maybe it was just like the hot spot for runaways. I don't
Because
know.
it's across the border. They can't get you.
I guess so, man. I guess so. I mean, we actually once knew back in my old house. Apparently, there was a girl that used to ride her. She would like ride her bike around, and it would be like 80 degrees out, and she'd have a winter coat on. Now, apparently, she was run away from Alaska because she ended up like committing some crimes up there. Never really said what crimes, but apparently she had committed crimes up there.
If she was from Alaska, I don't think she'd have her winter coat on.
Well, the thing
I feel
is
like
like,
she had to have come from someplace that was super hot.
well, I'm thinking, she. Hmm, that's true. That is true. Yeah, it does seem a little suspicious then. Yeah, maybe she's from like Arizona then.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe the story got a little like lost in translation through school and stuff, and that it was actually Arizona, not Alaska, because Arizona's really hot.
Yeah, it reaches
So
like 110 and everything.
yeah, so like that's like, I guess like 30 degrees could be like a big difference for somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? But yeah, essentially going back to the Mexico thing. They're driving towards Mexico, actually in Will's car. Just an idiot, okay? Just an idiot, an absolute idiot. And Erica ends up going to the jail to pretty much bail out her dad with Luke's dad's money, which is Bob. And, well, finds out that,
He's not there.
yep. And I think it's even more uncomfortable, and this is where the whole stepbro thing starts to like creep in. Is they are driving away and stuff like that, and he's pretty much like, Luke ends up like confessing his love to Erica, and Erica has never actually been with a dude. She's never like slept with a man. You know what I'm saying? She's only just brushed her teeth, if that makes sense. And I'm so sorry, dude. I'm so sorry, but I'm trying to keep this like, I don't know, PG-13. But I guess it doesn't need to be, but for you too, probably. Uh, but anyways, he's confessing his love to her. Eventually, they end up pretty much getting chased by the cops. They go off-roading. They bump into a cactus, and they get out of the vehicle, and they just go at it.
Yeah, they
Just,
confess their love together.
just. Sorry, that was my wallet, but that's what happened, you know. And it's a little like unfortunate. It's uncomfortable, honestly. It's just uncomfortable because, um, like it's pretty the more there's no I don't even know if there's probably a moral of the story. What do you think the moral of the story is? Like being a whore will get you nowhere.
Or it could do something with, like, sex offenders. I don't know. Because, like, Will was a big subject in this.
That's true, yeah. Okay.
Sex offenders always die. I don't know.
Maybe. That could be the moral. Yeah, maybe it's let's just like assume some morals here, okay? So I'm thinking we assume the moral here is that uh love is oh no, that I don't want that to be the moral. No. Cause like step bro stuff is not the moral, man.
Yeah, no, it's
Like
weird.
it would be because if Lori and Bob ended up marrying, technically, like not by blood, but technically, it, it's just not
Yeah,
gonna.
technically
That's
they're.
true. Like that's true. Step bro, step sis stuff. That's not cool, man. That's not cool at all.
Yeah, big no.
Yeah, that's a big no for me as well. But real quick, because we didn't really talk about him too much. Since I asked you how Erica you felt about her, I'm gonna ask you how you feel about Luke.
Oh, Luke. I feel like Luke had a good character progression.
Okay.
He was, he was a shy kid. He wasn't annoying. He was nice. Yeah, he's had some issues, but he's better now. I would say, I started to not like him when they started falling in love and acting weird.
I feel like he was a lost kid, and I feel like, to be honest, out of all characters in this, I would say that the most relatable ones are probably the mom and the dad, or stepdad,
Mm-hmm.
which would be Lori and Bob. But going back to Luke, we'll get to them later. But going back to Luke, to be honest, I think he's just a lost soul. He's going out there into the world. He has a lot of issues. He's seen a lot of things. Keep in mind, he was actually never touched by Will. He ended up confessing to Erica that he seen Will doing something else to a younger girl, and she was too afraid to actually tell anybody. Therefore, he ended up pretty much saying that it was him that Will did it to. Now, I gotta say, props to Luke for that. He's a real man for that. Taking something, and maybe he could have gone a different way about it. But the thing is, so I imagine if he probably did, if this was a realistic story, that if this was taken to court, there would be literally no evidence because I can almost guarantee that little girl probably wouldn't show up to court.
No.
And that's how those things go, and it's really unfortunate. And I think this really showed like how screwed up the world can be, and truly, I think that this movie is truly something that could happen, which is really awkward. But I think that this entire movie, I can totally see this being a real thing.
Yeah.
And the whole I think the reason that Luke fell for Erica is because Erica was also she had if you to be completely honest, she had daddy issues because her dad was in jail. Therefore, she had no man in her life. And when a man did step into her life and was close with her every single day, she would only pretty much get like, I guess, more and more connected to him, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm just glad that they at least give you some closure at the end of the movie where Luke's in jail because he took the blame for everything and that Erica is visiting him. And it's actually kind of funny because it's the same exact jail that her dad was in. And I think that that was a really good twist to the movie.
I never even caught that.
Yep. Um, just because they got caught like really close to the place that they were visiting in order to find her dad and take him
Yeah.
to Mexico with them. Um, but the fact that they also give you a little bit of hope as well, which I think is nice. I really wish that they would have said that Bob and Lori split up, only for the fact that it would make their relationship less awkward. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And because Luke ends up saying, I think at the end that he might have a really good case against Will and everything, based on like all of his actions and stuff like that, which could like pretty much lessen his sentence because of like I don't know everything. It was an accident, you know. It wasn't like premeditated,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't know. They never specified what degree of murder he did, um, but they did specify. I'm surprised that honestly, I'm shocked that Erica didn't even go anyways because
She
even
drugged him.
exactly. Well, the thing is he obviously probably took the blame for literally everything, you know. And I think that I want to say it makes him a simp. Do you think it makes him a simp?
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Yeah, it
makes him a
does. She
simp.
should have went away for a long time too.
That's true. Yeah, but apparently he did like he did like jail because he gets to play Xbox all day and he gets to eat food.
Yeah. So I guess that's a good thing. I guess.
Yeah. So let's talk about Kayla. Is that her name? I didn't even know that was her name. Uh, and like Claudine. I didn't. I guess that their names weren't said very much in the movie, but these are Erica's friends. Okay. How did you feel about them?
They're pretty much background characters. They act like Erica annoying. So there's not much to say about them. They're barely really in the movie.
Yeah, I just figured I would add them just because like they are there, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the next person I want to talk a little bit about is Will and how you felt about him.
Well, at first, before we knew about anything, he was super nice. He was a nice guy. Um, when Luke started having he had doubts after, they found out Will was dead and everything. Luke was acting sus. So, everyone in the movie was like, oh my god, we killed a man and he's innocent. Until Luke ended up telling people about the little girl. But, at that part, I felt bad. They killed an innocent man. He lost his wife. His wife divorced him through the accusations that Luke had against him. But yeah, he had a good character progression, I'd say.
Yeah. Um, he was already making a mistake, to be honest, making out with a 17-year-old and drinking with her and stuff like that as well, because Erica brought over beer and stuff like that, and it it just you could definitely tell that Will just had something for the young, and he probably needed some help, and he probably needed it addressed before he actually ended up making anything I guess happen with his actions and whatnot, if that makes sense. And I don't know. Will just Will just messed up, and I guess it was one of those things where he screwed up once, and then everything just started falling in with him,
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that bad karma is a thing, but whenever you got to look at karma this way, karma is really your criminal record. Like by law. I mean, like think about it this way: like if you're a felon, you're like already only allowed to do this, a certain amount of things. As far as
Yeah.
jobs and opportunities, like sure you could become a rapper. I don't know. You could do like hope that Donald Trump pardons you. Like I don't know. There's things that you could hope for, I suppose, but to be completely honest, like karma and being on the registry for that, those kind of actions, like I said, it's just you're pretty much like you might as well just expect bad karma at that point. Like
Yeah.
the thing is if you have gotten 3 tickets for going 30 over, okay, if a officer pulls you over for going 10 over and he looks at your record, right, he's not going to give you a warning. You're gonna get a ticket because you've done all these other things.
Yeah.
Like, and but there's probably people out there that's gone 5 or 10 over their entire life and has gotten pulled over 4, 5 times, and they don't have any record because they keep on getting warnings.
Mhm.
And I don't know. I mean, I think that to look at karma as more or less a real thing in the sense of law, it makes it kind of interesting to think about.
Yeah.
So, but the next people we're going to talk about here is Lori, which is Erica's mom, and then Bob, which is Luke's dad. So, how do you feel about Lori and Bob? You can do Lori first if you want to talk about her first.
Um, Lori was a cool mom. Her and Erica's relationship was weird. Um, but Lori was nice. She was funny. She was sweet. Um, yeah, Bob was a little bit of an oddball, but it's Bob. What do you really expect? I don't know.
He gave me camping dad vibes,
Yeah, for sure.
you
Or
know?
like Boy Scout, like dad.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. I guess to compare it to something that you guys might be able to understand a little bit better, um, do you remember that one movie with the redhead kid? It was that road trip with all the weed in the vehicle. They were going to Mexico. We Are the Millers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, Bob kind of gives me the camper vibes from the movie.
Like the camper that they're driving? Just the camper?
No, no,
Oh, I was
no.
about to say, how does he give you like just the driving camper vibe?
No, you remember that the one dude that they meet? I think the dude's name is Dale actually.
Oh, 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 oh,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's the kind of vibes he gives me.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of funny, but to be honest, I think that Lori's one of those people that she's struggling to keep Erica in line, but she's doing the best she can. She's probably had a hard life herself, and she's struggling to make everything work. She's an angry mom, but you know what? She's she's trying to do what she can. Erica's a lot. She's crazy. I mean, the thing is she probably you know didn't mean to let it get out of hand. It's just one thing happened after another, and everything just turned out to be that way.
Yeah.
And I think that Bob was really the dude in her life that was starting to pretty much make things better for her. And I think that Lori like truly loved Bob.
Mhm.
And the one scene where you go into the kitchen, I believe, and Bob's got bloody knuckles and everything's tore up in the house, and he's looking at the note crying that his son left whenever they went to Mexico. Like that's a relatable moment. Like that's a true like what would happen dad moment.
Yeah.
Like freaking out, frustrated, angry at everything because your son just killed somebody, and now he's going to Mexico. Well, I think that the note had said that he kidnapped Erica. Actually, didn't it say that?
Yeah, try to
So,
like play something else off of it.
which was probably a smart thing to be honest, because if he left in the note that Erica and him did wrong, then technically,
She's getting charged.
exactly. So that kind of left her out of the charge, which was actually a smart thing on the director and the writers or whoever chose that part. That was definitely a good thing to add in. It kind of tied everything together. And the rest of these characters are honestly just background characters and stuff like that. And um, to be honest, I don't even remember seeing some of these faces, to be completely honest.
Yeah, I don't remember any of
Yeah,
this.
like who's Kim Kim, the bar customer? Do you remember her at all?
No.
I don't remember that at all. But I remember seeing some of the faces, but definitely not all of them. Dale doesn't. Dale, the officer in the beginning,
Oh
does
yeah.
he? Dude, he did not change. They literally just took his real life personality and everything and just said, "Yeah, man, you're a police officer. Go be yourself." you know, like
Yeah.
that's literally what they did to that dude. But yeah, so essentially, the movie is. If you was to give this movie a rating, what would you rate it at?
4.
4?
Don't recommend.
Okay, okay. I respect it. And your reasoning?
It was just a crappy movie. I don't know. Horrible dialogue. Step bro. I don't know. It's just weird.
Yeah. To be honest, I think that I can agree with that. If you're gonna be watching a Step Bro Step Sis movie, then you're in the wrong place. Don't watch this movie. Go find another one because
Yeah.
this one doesn't have the action that you're probably seeking for. And
Yeah. Don't cut the action. Oh god.
yeah, to be completely honest, if I was to give this, oh crap, but if I was giving this movie a rating, to be honest, I think that 4 is a reasonable rating. Like, I want to say 5, but I think that truly 4 is probably like a pretty solid rating. And I want to check real quick what IMDb actually rated this at because okay, IMDb at 6.5 or yeah, okay, they give this 6 stars actually, so 6 out of 10, which is oh god, okay. I just read this. This is the description for the movie. A sexually curious teen forms an unorthodox kinship with her mentally unstable stepbrother.
Yeah, so that's let y'all know that I don't know, just
Wow.
I don't recommend it. It's not good.
Oh no, man. So I'm no, sorry. I'm just reading a little bit more. Okay, but yeah, dude. IMDb 6 out of 10. That just I don't know. 4 out of 10 seems cool with me. I can agree with that. And to be honest, I think that if you guys want to watch this movie, then watch it. But probably just find another movie to watch. Honestly,
Yeah.
literally just find a better movie to watch. There's definitely better movies than this one. And if you haven't seen this, then you're definitely not missing out. This is it's a strange movie to put it at that.
Yeah.
And I want to wrap this up real quick. I appreciate you, uh, co-host here. I
Of
appreciate you
course.
so much. Thank you. And it's gonna be uh, these are going to be uploaded on Mondays. Okay, so every single Monday, you guys can expect one of these and hope if we miss a week, I'm sorry, but I'm really thinking we should be able to pull these off at least once a week. I mean, that's not bad at all, considering like you're out of school now and stuff like that, and I'm out of school now, and it allows everybody to have more time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Summer's around, and uh, time is at best extendable by 6 hours. So, and that's pretty nice. And so I just gotta say, thank you guys for watching this. And yeah, to wrap this up, we're gonna be, like I said, on Mondays, and we're gonna be doing mostly movie reviews, and we might talk about certain subjects. I was thinking about talking about like serial killers and stuff like that eventually. Maybe some of that kind of stuff would be pretty interesting.
Hmm.
But I think for right now, movies would be cool. And yeah, hopefully we'll be able to get some guests on the next couple episodes. We got some plans trying to work those out, utilizing Discord and stuff like that, and possibly having them in the quote unquote studio, which would be pretty cool. And hopefully this was not bad. Hopefully this was a good episode for the first official Bed and Podcast episode. And if you guys had seen any of the past ones, then you guys are real OGs, because those ones were more or less trial and error. And I don't know, I'm really happy with the way that so far this is turning out. What do you think?
Yeah, it went very well.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
for sure. And I think that you guys can expect these to be anywhere from half an hour to, I would say, as long as an hour. I think that's a pretty reasonable time.
Mhm.
And yeah, so this has been the Bed and Podcast, the early morning episode coming to you. And
We'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.